Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Everyone, welcome to the show. So 42-year-old Michigan resident Logan Barnhart took part in the violence. This was late in the day on January 6th outside of the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. By the time he arrived, the police had already been battling the mob for several hours. They managed to push the group out of the tunnel, and they were just trying to maintain their position in the entrance. And that's when a new assault took place. So there was a series of events that took place and attacks. And an officer with the initials of BM was knocked to the ground. One of Barnhart's co-defendants grabbed that officer's helmet and his vest, or grabbed the officer by his helmet and vest. Barnhart then jumped in and he grabbed the neck of the officer's ballistic vest. And then Barnhart and his co-defendant dragged this officer down the steps. They threw him down in a prone position in the middle of the mob. And you guys probably remember that photo of the officer laying flat down on his face and not moving. At that point, two other co-defendants started to beat this officer with a flagpole and a baton. One of them dragged him further down the stairs. And at some point, the officer's helmet was knocked off, his baton was stolen, and the mob continued to assault him. He reports that he was kicked, he was struck with poles, he was stomped on. He said he was sprayed with mace. Other officers tried to rescue him, but they were also assaulted. And essentially, they ended up just playing tug of war over his body. So several minutes later, Barnhart ran up the steps again and he charged at the police line. He started pushing against them. The police successfully pushed him and others out of the way and, back away from the tunnel entrance. But then Barnhart charged at them again with a flagpole. So following the attack, Barnhart shared images on Instagram of January 6th. And in April of 2021, he reposted an image and he captioned it, quote, "Figured I'd post this throwback so you could get a little comparison between the so-called insurrection at the Capitol and the nonstop riots from Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Notice any difference?" So, of course, he shared photos of the few peaceful protesters on January 6th. No mention of him feeding a police officer to a violent, rabid mob. He didn't share this photo that I'm showing you guys right now of him beating officers with a flagpole. He didn't share this photo of himself charging at and attacking officers. Wonder why? Chicken shit delusional patriots. So anyway, he continued to spread conspiracy theories online, continued to downplay the violence and say that basically the media was making it all up, even though he knew he took part in it himself. So Barnhart was arrested on August 17th of 2021. And in a superseding indictment, he was charged with assaulting officers with a dangerous weapon, civil disorder, entering a restricted grounds, disorderly conduct on restricted grounds, physical violence on restricted grounds, and physical violence on Capitol grounds. In September of 2022, Barnhart pleaded guilty to assaulting officers with a dangerous weapon. So he was looking at up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested only 63 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And unfortunately, the FBI says they weren't even aware that Barnhart had attacked the police with a flagpole until after they were basically done with the plea negotiations. They said that if they had been aware of it and obtained that information earlier, he would have been hit with even more crimes. So he got lucky there. And no big surprise, Barnhart has quite a criminal history. He has 3 criminal convictions and then even more arrests, which didn't result in a conviction. According to the sentencing memo, quote, Barnhart was previously involved in a riot where he set a vehicle on fire. After the fire was extinguished, he kicked the vehicle, assisted in tipping it over on its roof, and then got on top of the vehicle and jumped on it. That was in 1999, and according to the news reports, Barnhart incited that riot, and they said that it caused approximately $145,000 in damage. That was in the city and also to the Michigan State University. But tell me again about Antifa. So the memo goes on to say that years after that event, Barnhart was involved in a road rage incident. You don't say. This is my shocked face. I don't know if you guys have seen this man, but he was a bodybuilder, or is a bodybuilder. He was also a model for romance novels. So it would not surprise me in the least to find that he's all roided up. I'm just saying. Anyway, in this road rage incident, Barnhart got out of his vehicle. He had a semi-automatic handgun with him, brandishes this weapon at the other driver. He hits the other driver in the face and then flees the scene. Last but not least, his last conviction was for driving under the influence. So as I've said before, when Trump sends his people, he's not sending his best. Or maybe he is. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, and some, I assume, are good people. So anyway, U.S. District Judge Randolph Contreras presided over Barnhart's case. And at the sentencing hearing, Barnhart tells the judge, quote, "The way I was acting seems so foreign to me." Really? Because you didn't have a gun this time, or like there was no vehicle involved? What? I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't find any details about what may have gone down at the hearing, what the judge may have said. But when all was said and done, Barnhart was sentenced to 3 years in prison, 3 years of probation, $2,000 in restitution, and he was ordered to pay $3,688 as a fine. So this is becoming a theme lately. You know, this one's going to get my Susan Collins response of, "I'm shocked and disappointed by this decision." Because Judge Contreras is usually a lot better in these cases. So this guy got off way too easy. He just got so lucky. I don't even know. I mean, 3 years isn't a cakewalk, but he deserved the full 5. All right. If I hear any more, I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with everyone you know, become a subscriber if you haven't already. And if you can donate, it truly helps to keep the show going. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.